There is a silent, invisible accountant living in the back of your brain. It watches every hour you work, tracks every calorie you burn, and audits every mistake you make. And for most of us, this accountant has rigged the books. No matter how much you achieve, the ledger never balances. You finish a project, and instead of pride, you feel relief. You reach a goal you've chased for years, and the satisfaction evaporates in minutes. We tell ourselves this is a virtue. We call it humility. We think that by refusing to appreciate ourselves, we stay hungry and driven. We fear that if we stop to pat ourselves on the back, we will become complacent, arrogant, or lazy. But this is a lie. You are not being humble. You are suffering from a mechanical error in your reward circuitry. To understand why, we must look at the machinery of survival. For millions of years, your ancestors lived in a world of immediate feedback. You threw a spear, you either ate or you didn't. You ran from a lion, you either escaped or you died. The effort and the outcome were linked in seconds. But the modern world has decoupled effort from outcome. We work on projects that take months. We build careers that take decades. We parent children for 18 years before we know if we did a good job. The kill is so far away that your primitive brain can't see it. Because the brain loves efficiency, it installs a filter called outcome bias. It decides that only the finished product matters. The rough drafts, the stress, the discipline to get out of bed when you were sad, these are labeled as waste or noise and deleted from your memory. This creates a reality where your progress becomes invisible to you. You are climbing a mountain, but every time you take a step, your brain resets your altitude to zero. You never feel high up. You only feel the strain of the next step. This leads to the dopamine prediction error. We have a cultural misunderstanding that dopamine is a reward for achieving a goal. It isn't. Biologically, dopamine is a fuel for pursuit. It is the chemical of almost there. When you finally get what you wanted, the dopamine drops because the pursuit is over. You expected a fireworks display of happiness, but you get a puff of smoke. This confuses the accountant. It thinks, if the reward felt empty, the effort must have been meaningless. So you move the goalpost. You convince yourself that the next achievement will be the one that counts. This is the arrival fallacy. You are running a race where the finish line moves forward at the exact same speed you do. This creates a silent metabolic crisis. You are demanding high performance from your biological engine, but you are refusing to refuel it with emotional acknowledgement. You are driving a car on fumes, screaming at it to go faster. Over time, motivation turns into pressure. Pressure calcifies into anxiety. And eventually, the machine engages its emergency brake. We call this burnout. Burnout isn't just working too hard, it's working without a return on investment. Your brain stops sending energy to the muscles because it assumes the system is broken. If you never applaud the effort, the brain assumes the effort is a waste of calories. It goes on strike to save your life. So, how do we fire the internal accountant? We have to switch from outcome-based valuation to vector-based valuation. A vector has two parts, direction and magnitude. If you are moving in the right direction, even slowly, and you are expending energy, that is a success. You need to acknowledge the friction you overcame. Try the stranger test. Imagine a clone of yourself. They have your exact life, your exact trauma, your exact fatigue. You watch them struggle through your day. If they finished 80% of their tasks and then collapsed on the sofa, would you yell at them? Would you tell them they are worthless because they didn't finish the last 20%? Or would you say, I see how hard you tried. You did good. You would be kind to them. You would see their effort as heroic. Why is your internal logic valid for every human on earth except you? You are not special enough to be the only person who doesn't deserve credit. Appreciation is not arrogance. It is maintenance. It is the oil that prevents the engine from seizing up. By acknowledging your own movement, you release the feedback signal that makes consistency possible. You tell your nervous system, this struggle is worth it. You are a temporary collection of atoms that has gained consciousness for a brief spark of time. The fact that you are trying to impose order on a chaotic universe is already a miracle. So today, look at what you did, not what you didn't do. Validate the rough draft. Respect the struggle. The goal is not just to reach the peak, the goal is to survive the climb.